Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is a weird photo to start this video off with. I realize that, but my man Dak, which is hilarious because his name in the game is Dak, and then his name online is ironically not Dak. It'd be like my name being Prof Hoff, and then you're messaging me, and my name online is not Prof Hoff. I don't know what to do with that. Well, this was the 7-star Nexus that he sent over to me, but I think it was actually a Nexus that was not supposed to be a 7-star. It might have been a Paragon Nexus that just happened to be. He claimed it was Paragon Nexus. Now, it could have been Activate Rewards, who knows. But this is how different my life is, because I get this message from him. This message was sent to me on April 12th, so more than 2 weeks ago. And then he goes from sending me this to being the same person that sends me this. This is a points boost applied in the Google Play Store. You can see that it is a boost that could only be activated, I believe, by tomorrow, April 30th. Although if you want the boost and you haven't made purchases, you can make it today. The issue is, and I think the bigger story of this, is that when I talked to friends who have Android devices about their purchases for spring cleaning, several of them said, well, I did make purchases, but I didn't see a boost. And it wasn't until after they'd made the purchases that they then realized that they lost themselves 5 points per dollar because you have to manually select it. And that is also really fascinating that in order to keep a certain status, you have to spend X amount of points during the year. So, I mean, we're talking about even at 5 times the points, spending over $1,000 on the game every year to keep diamond status. It's kind of a genius way to keep people spending on mobile apps through the Google Play Store, which of course Google Play/Google benefits from tremendously financially. It's also the reason why Kabam and other companies that know this about the business model have started going away from purchases through the Google Play and Apple Store because they don't want to pay that 30% allegedly reported amount they have to pay for every transaction. Instead, they pay like 5%. So they get to keep 25% more money. So if they get to keep 25% more, they'll give players like 5% more units. So they won't pass on the cost savings directly to the consumer, but they'll pass on a little bit of it. I get why people are so angry about this because they didn't see it until it was too late. And of course, a lot of players play Apple devices, iPhones, and they don't have this at all unless you use, I think the Apple credit card is the only thing that technically gets cash back, but it's definitely not 5%. Let me actually do a quick Google search while I record this. Apple credit card rewards. Okay, so in the Apple credit card, it's just 3% Apple purchases on everything you buy at Apple. 3%. So 3% is better than 1%, but it's not 5%. Not 5% at all. So that is definitely a fascinating amount of information and something that I truly believe we will need to revisit in the coming months. Until then, we'll see if this offer comes back for July 4th. But regardless, if you're mad because you didn't see it in your Android before you purchased things, I get it. And yet, I'm still envious you had a chance to do it at all because Apple players, unless you talk about the 3% credit card, don't. So thanks again to Dak/not Dak for sending on the info. I believe you have until April 30th if you want to use this to claim it. But I'd go ahead and claim it today because some places it's always tricky if the day something expires is honored or not. This weekend I was supposed to get a brownie from a barbecue place and it said it expired that day, but it didn't let me add it to the cart. So who knows? Don't chance it. Get it today. And if you're upset because you didn't use it before you purchase stuff, I don't blame you either.